Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing, Gemini? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whenever you come across this reading, I hope everyone is staying safe. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for liking and sharing my content. Please make sure you do so it can evolve around YouTube. I really appreciate it. To new viewers, cross watchers, please come on in, take what resonate, leave the rest for someone else. I love you guys. So I'm continuing my readings from last night over in the morning, Gemini, and this is how I was figuring out what sign to do next. It's because I was doing this, okay? So now your card popped out, Gemini. Your card popped out, so you need a reading from me, Gemini. Spirit guides, divine universe, I ask you to come into this reading. I ask you to give me clarity, understanding. Most of all, I need your divine protection, my spirit team. Thank you, spirit guides. So, Gemini, I love you guys. Let's see what's going on in your energy. Yes, indeed. Let's see, spirit team. This is for Gemini. This is for Gemini. Let's see what's going on with you, Gemini. First card is failure. Failure. Oh, my goodness. Failure. Thank you, spirit guys. Success. Transformation. Bottom of the deck is go within, Gemini. So when I see this card, failure, I feel like when it comes down to a lot of things, when it comes down to your success, something did not work out, and right now you're feeling like a failure. You're feeling like you're really beating yourself up about whatever this is that you feel like you failed at, okay? But I also see in your present moment that there is a lot of success that's coming your way. So in the past, what this is showing me, past tense, is that you felt you felt like a failure, that you did not accomplish things in time that you wanted to accomplish things, okay? But that was your mindset then. Now it's like a lot of success is in your present moment now. I feel like you're going through a transformation, okay? I feel like you're definitely you're definitely going through a lot of changes in your life right now. And spirit guys, it has a lot to do with going within yourself, Gemini. So I want you to know that failure is an option. Okay. Failure is not an option. And this is you in the past. I take this as a past card. Okay. Because you have these two cards: past, present moment. Success, present moment, past, failure. You're gaining so much success in your life now. And it has a lot to do with your transformation. It has a lot to do with changing your perspective. Has a lot to do with changing. It has a lot to do with going within yourself, connecting to your inner self, your inner being, if I may say. Okay? So let's see what's going on in your energy. I really feel like, I really feel like where this failure come in with you, Gemini, is because in your past you didn't accomplish the things that you wanted to accomplish in the time that you wanted to accomplish them. And so you felt like a failure. I feel like you in the past you were very hard on yourself. When I tell you very hard, you were very analytical, very judgmental towards your own self. And I feel like that was a part that you had to really, really go within and change that, because, just because things don't work out, it doesn't make you a failure. Okay. And you had to go within, you had to do a lot of transforming, a lot of transitioning, a lot of things that you had to go within, and you had to change that perspective of your definition of failure. Is it that you failed people? Is that you failed your mom, your dad, that you failed the people that were most important to you, that they wanted, that you did not, that you did not succeed in the way that they wanted you to succeed? Is that where the failure comes in? Because that failure comes in within something that was told to you that that made you feel like you were a failure, when in fact it's your own journey towards your own success. It made it seem like that you were a failure because it's something that somebody wanted you to do. Okay. And so that could be mama, daddy. I don't care who it is that wanted you to be what they wanted you to be. And so that put in your mentality that you were a failure because they wanted you to do what they wanted you to do. You know how your parents want you to live through them? Okay, they wanted you to be that doctor. They wanted you to be that Sunday school teacher. They wanted you to be this, but you didn't. And because you didn't, it made you feel like you failed them. Because you chose to go in a different direction. And it's almost like they made you feel like, you failed them, him, her. You were never the failure. You was just trying to... You were trying to, what's the word called? You were never a failure. You was trying to gain approval. You was trying to please. Thank you, Spirit guides. You was trying to please. You was trying to please other people. And because you didn't do that and you tried, it made you feel like you were a failure. But in fact, you was not. You were very successful. And so you had to do a lot of transformation, a lot of going within yourself. And you had to change your mindset of how you perceive failure. And you started saying to yourself repeatedly, I am not a failure. Failure is not in my, that is not an option. And so you had to go within yourself and you had to learn that inner self, that inner voice, that inner you. Ever since then, you've been very successful. You persevered through that. The Queen of Pentacles. Perseverance. Ever since then, you've been successful. You persevered through that because you were living through someone else's dreams. And that's what made you feel like you were failed. You were a failure in the past presence, in your past. You was trying to live for mama, daddy, uncle, Sue, grandpa, grandma. Your relationship, somebody you loved, you was trying to please them and live for them and trying to because they said you should be this, you should be that, you should do this, you should do that, and because that is what you were not feeling within yourself, you tried that, but it didn't work, and that made you feel like you was a failure when in fact that was not your path. I don't know if you're getting under you. I don't know who this is, but I don't know if you're understanding what I'm saying. You were never a failure. You was on the path of another person. You was trying to live the path of someone else. You were not on your path, on your destiny, on what your success looked like. You was too busy trying to please and try to go the path that somebody wanted you to go, on the path that they wanted you to. That's why you felt like a failure. People can put their dreams on you, and then when it's not accomplished, then they say, "Oh, you failed. Oh, I knew you couldn't do it." But it was never your dream. It was never your dream. You know how, mom and dad say, "I want you to go to school. I want you to be a teacher. I want you to be a scientist. I want you to be this. I want you to be that." You was living a dream for them. It wasn't for you. That was not your path. But you didn't understand it then. But you sure understand it now. That's why this transformation took place in your life, because you had to change your perspective on how you perceive failure. Who was you failing? Who was you failing? You wasn't even on the right path. You wasn't even on your path. You was living on the path of another. That was not yours in the beginning. It was never yours. It was never yours. You took on somebody else's Failure. You took on somebody else's because they wanted you to do it because they couldn't do it. They wanted you to prove something to them because they couldn't do it. So they're going to try. They were putting their dreams on you when that was not for you. That was not your destiny. That was not your dream to take on somebody else's dream. You were on the wrong path. Now you see yourself. Look at yourself. Look at the success that lies on you. Look at how you look now. Look at the light that surrounds you. Look at you. That's because you had to go within. You had to go within and do a transformation of who you are and what failure looks like. Why did I say it? Why was I a failure? When that's not even what I was interested in the first place. Living your dreams for somebody else. Living your dreams through someone else. But you persevered through it. You went through a lot with that. You went through a lot with struggling with being a failure. You went through a lot with struggling being a failure. Because in your mind, you felt like you were a failure. Everything that you did, you felt like you failed. But you did not realize that was not even your path. That was not even your path in the first place. That wasn't your journey. It's the projection of who was in your life, the adult that was in your life. They were projecting what they wanted onto you. So they wanted you to live for them, when in fact that was not even your destiny. And you really lost a lot of sleep over this, over the years, trying to please. And it's like, what am I doing? Even down to a relationship. Trying to people please, trying to live out the dream. What a relationship look like, so what a marriage look like, how this is supposed to be, and trying to, bend over backwards for your partner, and trying to please your partner when you wasn't even pleasing yourself. You became blocked. You became blocked. Tell me more. But now look at you. You have persevered so much that the failure, that your success. Let me show you your success. The present moment that you're in, your success. When you got on the right path of your own path, your own destiny, your own success, your own destiny, not someone else's, your own path. You went from 4 of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. When you learned that you were living through somebody else, okay, and not your own success, that's when you realize that you had to go within and you had to start to change the narrative of who you were. You had to start to become your higher self and realizing that I got to live for me, not for somebody else. When you done that, that's when the investment starts to happen in your life. From the 4 of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. When I tell you, you are so successful now, Gemini, in whatever area that is in your life. If it's just successful in your own transformation, in your own mindset, in your own life, in your own whatever you're doing, you're very successful at it. Because you learned that you was never the failure. You were never the failure. It was what you was taking on at the time you was trying to prove yourself to someone else when that was not even your path in the beginning. My goodness, my goodness. Some going to get this and some of y'all are not going to get this. Yeah. You had to make a transformation. Out. Yeah. You had to definitely do some soul searching. You had to go through some dark night of the soul. And you had to let go of all that negative energy, all of that toxic, all of that, all of those traumatizing moments that you had to live through. Your parents lived through, relationships. You had to live through a lot. And you ended that old self of you. And now you're in a new version of you. Transformation, death, ending, soul searching. You had to go within. And you had to realize I was never a failure in the first place. I was never a failure, but it was programmed in my mind that I failed because I failed to do what somebody wanted me to do for them, not for me. Oh my goodness, this is deep. If you ain't ready for this, it's not even going to resonate with you if you're not ready for this. So you had to do a lot of transformation. You had to do a lot of dark night of the soul, a lot of traumatizing where people that you were, that they say you failed them, and when you didn't fail them. You didn't fail nobody. You didn't fail 555-1555 just came up on the screen. New beginnings. You failed. You failed because you did not live up to their expectations. But their expectations was never your expectations. You were not on the path that you're supposed to be on. But they programmed your mind to think that this is what you should have done. This is how you should have went. This is the route you should have taken, and blah, blah, blah. But that was not never your route in the first place. But you didn't know what you know now is that you was taking on somebody else's dream. You was on the path of another when you was not even on your own path, because your own path leads to success. Oh, I get it, Miss Positive Thoughts and Energy. I get it. And you moved away from it. You moved away from it. This could have been a relationship, a karmic relationship. You moved away from it. Because this person is always saying you're a failure, that you can't accomplish something, you can't do this, you can't do that, because of their expectations of you. You're not for me. And you took your child and you moved on. Where did that card go? You followed your heart, Queen of Cups right there. You followed your heart and you moved on. You say, my success is my success. I will no longer allow anyone to dictate who I am. I will not be on someone else's path. And you blocked yourself. And you chose to stay in your own lane and focus on your own self. And look what you become. Look what you become, the Empress. Because the lies that they told, the cheating, the lies, the deceitfulness. The deceitfulness that you growed up in, traumatized, thinking that you're supposed to live how somebody else has wanted you to live. And that caused you to say, I failed at that because I didn't do what this person or these people or this family wanted me to do. So I was a failure, and you misdiagnosed yourself. You were never a failure. Because you was not on your own path. But they programmed your mind to think that you were a failure because you did not accomplish what they wanted you to accomplish. May I go on? And now you're in the 10 of Pentacles. You're accomplishing a lot. Very successful. A lot of things coming towards you. Inheritance, deeds, winnings, payouts, longevity of relationships. You're very successful now. The 10 of Pentacles. You're in the Empress energy. Empress, however it goes. Tomato. And baby, you got your chin up and your chest is out. Your chin up and your chest is out. And you said, I would no longer live through nobody. I'm living for me. New beginnings, new risks, new adventures. You said, I'm done. My chin is up and my chest is out. And I'm going towards what I want to go towards. I am not a failure because failure is not an option in my life. And look at you now. Look at you now. But it took you some transformation and going through the dark night of the soul to realize that all this that you had been holding on to was never yours in the beginning. My God. Woo! All of that you've been holding on to throughout your teenage years all the way up to your adult years was never yours in the first place. You was holding on to something. You were going through something that was never yours. Do you understand what I'm saying, Gemini? It was never yours in the first place. But they wanted you to feel like it was yours. That wasn't your plan. That wasn't your destiny. But because you did not know what you know now, that you were being manipulated, that you were being deceived, that you were being lied to, that you were to do what's to be programmed to what they wanted you to be programmed what they wanted you to become. They wanted you to be this, and because of what they wanted you to be, and because you did not know your mentality, how they manipulated your mind, you thought that you failed yourself, when in fact you didn't fail yourself. Do you understand? You didn't fail yourself. You wasn't even on the path that you're supposed to be on. You were being manipulated into because of what somebody wanted you to be, who they wanted you to become, and that made you feel like you have failed in life. But that was never your journey. That was never your path. Now you realize, through this transformation and the dark night of the soul, the transformation, you realize that you was taking on somebody else's energy. It was never yours, because look at you. You had to go within and realize that this is the right path I'm supposed to be on. This path right here. What I want to do, what my purpose is, what I'm here to do. Now you're on the right journey, and you realize all of that you had carried for so many years was never yours to carry in the first place. I'm Positive Thoughts of Energy, Gemini. Until next time.